book up wide and meet adventures that wait for you. Live and learn and laugh and play whenever your dream comes true. You could swim along the river all the way to the sea. You could fly up in the sky above the clouds and trees. You could plant a flower garden up on top of the moon. You could swing through the jungle all afternoon. Wherever our story takes us, I can't wait to see. Yes, friends, come and read with me. It's Online Storytime.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Online Storytime at your Grand Rapids Area Library. I'm Miss Tracy.
I'm Teacher Missy.
And we are so excited to have you here with us today. Hey, Teacher Missy, before we get started, do you want to sing?
You know what? I need a good song this morning, Miss Tracy.
All right, Storytime friends, would you sing with us? Would you clap with us? All right, here we go. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, clap your hands. Oh, I heard some clapping.
I did too.
That was so nice. So my friend, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, you know, it's getting to be kind of springish out there in the lakes. I'm really noticing are kind of starting to get dark and the ice is melting. And with that come back our friends to the lake. One of my favorite birds to talk about is the loon.
Is a loon.
I love loons, Miss Tracy.
And did you know, Teacher Missy, that Minnesota has a state bird, and the loon is Minnesota's state bird? And what does that mean? Well, every state in the country has things that make them special. And so a lot of states have a state bird and a state flower and maybe even a state muffin. We'll talk about that next week. And Minnesota has a state bird, and it's the loon. So we thought it'd be fun to talk about loons today.
Oh, we did. And you know, they are just an amazing birds. And did you know, just fun facts to tell, that they are really poor flyers?
Really?
But they are really good swimmers.
Okay.
A little bit like a penguin.
Ah.
They can fly, but they need lots and lots and lots of room to get going. They don't come up out of the water very easily.
So that's why they can't be here when there's ice on the lake.
That's right.
Because they need open water.
They need a lot of it.
Okay.
And I have heard of stories where they have landed in rainstorms in parking lots.
Oh,
And then
goodness.
couldn't get going very easily because
Sure.
it would look like a lot of water, but it was never enough for them to. So yeah, it's kind of, but they're amazing. They can dive just a long way down. I might be making this up, 40 feet maybe?
A long
Yeah.
way. And Storytime friends, if you're ever in a boat in a lake, you might see a loon floating and then it looks like it disappears.
It just goes.
And then if you watch carefully, it might pop up way away from where it first went down. That's because it dives way down to catch fish to eat.
Yes.
Or it also dives way down when it gets scared too. If something
Right.
startles it,
Right.
it'll dive down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. And they make the most beautiful sound.
I love to hear a loon call. Have you ever heard of a loon call, Storytime friends? They sound ooh, but they make like 3 different calls that mean different things. Some calls mean I'm looking for you, and some calls mean I'm happy, and some calls mean, oh, there's danger around, and the other loons know what those mean.
I know, and they respond. Yep, that's true. And they are really good. I like to see where they fish. Because where they're fishing is maybe where you want to fish.
That's right. Hey, do you have any good books about loons?
I do.
All right, let's read.
Miss Tracy,
Yes, Teacher
look
Missy.
at the beautiful book I have this morning.
Oh my goodness. Is that a photograph of loons on the cover?
That is a photograph, and that is different from an illustration, isn't it?
It is.
A photograph is a real picture, like your mom and dad or grandma or grandpa or somebody takes of you. Probably lots of them, because you're cute. This is a real picture, and it's a story about, and what are those?
Those are loons.
Those are loons. Can you see them? If you look closely, look at what this loon is doing. That's a mama loon with a fish in her mouth. And can you see this little bitty guy right next to the other loon? I bet that's the dad. She's giving him something to eat. Did your mom bring you dead fish to eat? No, probably not. The little loon thinks it's pretty good. Secrets of the Loon by Laura Purdy Salas and Chuck Dayton. And it comes to us from Minnesota Historical Press. And we are going to learn some things about loons here. Yes, we are. High overhead hangs a dawdling moon. There it is, right there. Then peck, 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 peck. A brand new loon. Peck, peck. I wonder, it was in an egg, Miss Tracy.
It pecked its way out.
It did. She's straggly and wet. Soon the sun dries her coat. She plops into the water. Splash! Fear grips her throat. She's pretty little to be swimming. Then the lake sings its secret. Moon Loon, you can float. Look at
Moon
her.
must be her name.
I think Moon is her name. And she came out of her shell right when that moon was in the sky. Fish flip-flop and wiggle. Loons shake first, then eat. Moon's father gives demos. Shake, swallow, repeat. Moon gobbles up minnows and crayfish. Delicious. But an old turtle lurks its jaws. Strong and vicious. Moon Loon rides on her mother's side. On mother, side by side with her brother. Oh, look, she's got another one. There are two men. Look at where they ride. That's kind of like being piggyback, only it's loon back. Perched safely in feathers on Mama's broad back, they rest out of reach of that snapper's attack.
Uh-oh. What's a snapper?
That is a big kind of turtle, and they have very pointed jaws, and they kind of eat lots of little things, but they eat lots of fish and things as well. And that's the kind of turtle you probably don't want to pick up.
Right.
Yeah. And you can tell the difference in their heads. Summer wears sunshine or fog, soft and gray, and skips by so quickly while Moon grows each day. Eventually, Father's back runs out of space, so the chicks each tuck under a wing embrace. Look at, they're too big to sit on him now, so now he has to put his arms around them. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Lake wrinkles and twinkles below shimmering skies, but danger flies over with sharp, hungry eyes. Oh. Somebody else is looking for lunch. Mother's wild call, its rise and its fall, warns Moon of the eagle. Can Moon Loon survive? Her heavy bones whisper, Moon Loon, you can dive. Moon Loon dives underwater, she glides fast and sleek, escapes the bald eagle's talons and beak. See, they're heavy, so that makes them good divers and swimmers. Cleaning and pruning, Moon masters each skill. She can catch her own dinner, she can fill her own bill. Do you know what a bill is?
Is it like a beak?
Yeah, that's another name for their beak, their bill. Moon's learning loon music. Mama's wails soar haunting, like the howl of a wolf, full of searching and wanting. You want to do my loon call for me?
Woo!
Miss Tracy does that well. One morning, two humans. Could they mean harm? They venture closer and closer. Father sounds the alarm. His feet turn the water, he rises upright. He calls sharp and urgent, ready to fight. After Father's aggressive and noisy display, the humans quietly paddle away. He told them, didn't he? More lessons from Mother. Flap, 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 Moon Loon. Try. But a loon's built for water. Leave the lake. Why? But early each morning, Moon Loon flaps and fails. Her narrow wings slap like weary ship sails. She's trying, you can see her trying to get across that water. Then one day, she launches herself into the sky. Her wing feathers murmur, Moon Loon, you can fly. Wind whistles Moon's wings. She is almost full grown. Soon her parents leave Moon and her brother all alone. The leaves flutter down. Fall stamps them with frost. Moon knows why she's going. Moon knows she's not lost. She'll fly through the breeze to warm, salty skies. She'll stay 1, 2, 3 winters where the oceans won't freeze. Every secret Moon needs she carries inside, and one late autumn morning, Moon spreads her wings wide. There she goes.
There she goes.
There she goes.
What a beautiful photograph.
Isn't that gorgeous? And look at her beautiful wings. And they're a pretty good sized bird.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty large. So it's pretty fun to have them flying around and being where you can look at them. We see them up at the lake quite a bit.
And we're so lucky we can hear them call to each other.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Hey, Storytime friends. Hey, Teacher Missy.
Yes.
Did you hear Teacher Missy? She called yes like a loon. She's so clever. Okay. Would you guys like to do a flannel board today?
Oh, yes.
And guess what? We're going to do a flannel board about, what? You're right, loons. This is called 10 Sleepy Loons. And if you see here, we have what looks like is a loon nest. Now, loons build their nest on the side of a lake because their babies need to be able to learn how to swim, and they can't swim right away. They need to float first, and they need to have the water really close. Because as you know, as Teacher Missy told us, loons don't fly very well. So here we have a loon nest, and we have some loons ready to go to bed, okay? But we're gonna count these loons in a little bit of a different way. We're gonna count our loons by 2s. Normally when we count by 1s. So if we count to 5, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But you can count faster than that. You can count, if you count by 2s, you count every 2 of things. So if I count to 4, I can just say 2, 4. And I'm already up to 4.
That's fast.
Isn't that cool? And some people like to count by 5s, and they say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and I'm already up to 30. And it's really a fun way to count and to play with numbers, to count by things other than 1. So today, we're gonna count by 2s. And we're gonna start out with how many loons? That's right. We have 2 little loons sitting in a nest. It's nighttime now, and they're ready to rest. Here's 2 more loons that need some rest. So if we count by 2s, friends, we have 4 sleepy loons. Begin to softly hoot. 4 little loons sitting in a nest. It's nighttime now, and they're ready to rest. Here's 2 more loons that need some room. Now, 2, 4, 6 sleepy loons begin to softly hoot. Can you hoot with me? Ooh, 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 good loon hoots. 6 little loons sitting in a nest. It's nighttime now and they're ready to rest. Here's 2 more loons that need some room. Now, 8 sleepy loons begin to softly hoot. Can you count by 2s with me? 2, 4, 6, 8. Ooh, ooh. 8 little loons sitting in a nest. It's nighttime now and they're ready to rest. Here's 2 more loons that need some room. Now 10 sleepy loons begin to softly hoot. Ooh, ooh. Can you count with me? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 little loons waking from their sleep. It's daytime now and they're ready to eat. They swim away one by one. They're off to play and have some fun. Now, Storytime friends, we counted up by 2, but let's count backwards from 1, by ones. Ready? We start with 10, and then he goes away. And how many do we have? 9, 8, 7, 6, you got it, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there they go, off to eat. Woo, woo. Thanks for counting with me.
Miss Tracy, I have another book to read this morning about loons.
I was gonna say, I hope it's about loons. Oh my goodness, look at this. Now this is different though. This doesn't have photographs in it.
No,
does it?
this book has illustrations. And boys and girls, do you remember what that means? Yes, yes, it's pictures. Somebody has drawn the pictures. Those are illustrations. And this book was written by a man named Jonathan London, and it was illustrated by Susan Ford. So the 2 people worked together on this book. And Miss Tracy just told me that Jonathan London is the same author that has written all of the Froggy books. And I bet some of you have read Froggy books. You have, yeah, I think you probably have. Well, this is called Loon Lake. This is called Loon Lake, and it comes to us from Chronicle Kids. Loon Lake. We have a lake somewhere around here called Loon Lake. Rainbird, rain goose, call up a storm. These are names native people of the north give to the loon. That is what Papa tells me. Rainbird, rain goose, call up a storm. That's interesting. We watch the sun sink, setting fire to the clouds, and hear a loon's call. I cup my hands around my mouth and try to make the loon's crazy yodeling laugh. Across Loon Lake, Loon laughs back. They're doing what you do so well, Tracy. Okay, we'll try again. I've never seen a loon up close. It's getting late, but we set out to find him. We ease our canoe into the quiet northern lake as the full moon rises and spills a bright path across the dark water. We dip the blades of our paddles, dip, glide, and slide through the moonlight near the shore. Oh, and I see they're wearing life jackets. That's important. There's an old Simshon story, Papa says, about how the loon got his white necklace. They have a white ring around their neck. I keep paddling and I listen. An old man had lost his sight and he asked the loon for help. Loon was a magical bird and he gave sight back to the old man. And for this, said Papa, the old man gave Loon his precious shell necklace. The white shards of shell adorn his feathers to this day. That's a pretty cool story. In the moon shadows, we see something move. The slightest ripple. I stop paddling and so does Papa. Our canoe glides and something glides with us. An otter! His shiny nose and whiskers arrow toward the shore. I glanced back at Papa and he put a finger to his lips and he grins. We see a quick gleam of moonlight on fur as Otter slithers out of the water and into the bush. Again, something moves in the shadows. Again, just a nose and whiskers dragging a soft ripple. Buck teeth in the moonlight. What's that, boys and girls? Beaver slaps his tail and down he goes, under. We start paddling. Something else moves in the shadowy water. A loon, I whispered to Papa. A rainbird. Slow, slow, we paddle toward the loon. But before we know it, he's gone. There, he rests in a nest of stars on the still water. We try to paddle closer. Dip, glide, dip, glide. But whenever we get too close, Loon quick dives quietly. And he bobs up in another spot. There he goes, down, down, down. Now I glimpse him floating behind a screen of reeds. We paddle toward him, silent as the moon. He rears up, shakes his head, flaps his wings, then he settles back down. 50 feet, 45, 40, at 30 feet we stop paddling. Suddenly, Loon glides out, followed by another and another. A family! Oh, I want to shout, but I don't. Instead, I hold my breath. Whoosh! The Loon family takes off, running on the water. Their splashes flashing white in the moonlight. I breathe deep, and we turn back toward camp. After supper, around the campfire, Papa whittles a sharp stick and hands it to me. I spear a marshmallow and hold it over the flames and imagine Loon and his family. Just then, Loon's wild, eerie wail pierces the night. I glance up and see a dark cloud passing across the moon. Rain tonight, said Papa. Later, we curl up in our sleeping bags and listen to Loon's haunting cry and to the first drops of rain as they tap against our tent. Rain bird, rain goose, call up a storm. Good night. And there they go to sleep. And that is that. Here's a little picture they drew of what it kind of looks like where they nest. And they nest on the ground, not in a tree. So they have to be very careful for predators.
Sure.
Yeah. Loon Lake.
Hey, Storytime friends, guess what? I know some Loon songs. Can you even believe it? Oh, there are Loon songs. Would you like to sing? Hey, Teacher Missy, you want to sing?
I love to sing, especially about loons.
I've got some words for Teacher Missy. You know, I always have words for Teacher Missy. Sometimes I forget to give them to her. So today, here are her words.
Oh, thank you, Miss Tracy.
So out of your Storytime kit, my friends, I would like you to find your shaker. Because sometimes when you sing a song, it's nice to do a little shaking too. And if you don't have your Storytime kit, we still have some here at the library. Come on in to the circulation desk and just say, may I have a Storytime kit, please? And they'll give you one. And you can keep it forever and ever. And it's got a beanbag and a friend and a scarf and a shaker egg. It's a pretty awesome deal. Oh, yes? Of course. Teacher Missy.
Oh, who's here?
Elephant would like to be our friend today.
Good morning, Elephant.
Hi, Teacher Missy. Hi, Storytime friends. Elephant's going to stand right here, and he's going to sing along while we sing.
Looking very dapper this morning.
Oh, doesn't he?
Yes.
I think he's pretty excited. Elephant likes the snow because he grew up in a place where there was no snow. So while the rest of us were a little disappointed to wake up to snow, it's in April, by the way, in case you're watching this in July. It's April right now. And Elephant was really excited to see the snow. Me, not so much. Okay?
Me neither.
Okay, all right, so if you don't have a shaker egg, you can shake an envelope with dried peas. Teacher Missy, do you want that one?
Well, this is my favorite.
We also have like kids, plastic, and you can shake anything that you can find to make noise. Just do a little shaking. The first song we're going to sing is called Little Brown Loon, okay? And it's a takeoff of a song called Little White Duck. But this one's called Little Brown Loon. And we'll sing it 2 times. So the first time, why don't you just shake and listen, unless you already know the words. And the second time, maybe you can sing along a little bit. And this is how it goes. There's a little brown loon sitting in the water, little brown loon doing what he oughter. He took a bite of the lily pad. He flapped his wings and he said, I'm glad I'm a little brown loon sitting in the water. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Can you hoot like a loon? Ooh, ooh. You know what my grandson says about a loon? He says the loons say, I'm over here, I'm here. You could do that too. What does the loon says? He says, I'm here, or where are you? Okay, all right, should we sing Little Brown Loon again? Here we go. There's a little brown loon sitting in the water, a little brown loon doing what he oughter. He took a bite of the lily pad. He flapped his wings and he said, I'm glad I'm a little brown loon sitting in the water. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nice job. Isn't that a fun one? I love that song.
You can just see him sitting
I know,
there.
he's just sitting in the water, taking a little nibble off the lily pad. He would only nibble off the lily pad if there's like a little bug or something there, but he could do it. He really could. All right, now we're going to sing about a loon in the air. And guess where the loon in the air is going to land? It's something that rhymes with air. You got it. He's going to land right in your hair. Okay, ready? So here's your loon. There's a loon in the air, in the air. There's a loon in the air, in the air. There's a loon in the air, now he's flying in my hair. There's a loon in the air, in the air. There's a loon on my leg, on my leg. There's a loon on my leg, on my leg. There's a loon on my leg, and he is pretty big. There's a loon on my leg, on my leg. Oh, can you imagine having a loon on your leg? They're really big birds.
They are very big.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. Where else can a loon be? How about on your hand? Can you put your hand up? Get your loon? Here we go. There's a loon on my hand, on my hand. There's a loon on my hand, on my hand. There's a loon on my hand, and now he is my friend. There's a loon on my hand, on my hand. Should we sing about the air and the hair one more time? Okay.
Let's do it.
There's a loon in the air, in the air. There's a loon in the air, in the air. There's a loon in the air, now he's flying in my hair. There's a loon in the air, in the air. Ah, thanks for singing, everybody. Oh, Teacher Missy, what a great time I had today.
You know, it just breathes life into you to be able to talk about these beautiful birds.
And to know that the state of Minnesota has a state bird. They are so proud of the loon that it's the state bird.
Yes, it is.
And over the next several weeks, friends, we're going to talk a lot about Minnesota symbols, the state symbols of Minnesota. So I'm looking forward to that. But what a great time we had today. We saw Moon Loon, a real loon. And then we saw the beautiful Loon Lake. And do you remember when we counted by twos? Let's count by twos up to 10. Should we do
Let's
it
do
together?
it.
Okay, here we go. Ready? It goes 2, 4,
4,
6, 8, 10. There we go. That's
That
just
was
a different
fast.
way you can count. That's right. Oh, what a fun day. But now I think it's time to say goodbye.
It is.
We have to get ready for next week.
We do.
All right. Would you sing with us? Here we go. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Yes, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Story time is done today. Now it's time to go and play. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Look for a loon now.